It was just after lunch when my mom called me into her office. Her face was pale and her hands were shaking. "Edward," she whispered, "I haven't been honest with you." She took a deep breath. "Your father and I aren't getting a divorce, but we never have been." My blood ran cold. What did she mean? Had I been adopted? Why did they lie to me? Was that why Dad was always distant? How could I not have known? Questions bombarded me. Before I could ask any, Mom began speaking again. "I'm sorry, Edward. I never meant for this to happen. I still love your dad, but I can't pretend anymore. I have something to tell you, something important, something that will change everything." She paused, searching for the right words. "Your father isn't really my husband. He's not even your real dad. You don't have a dad. You don't have a family. You are alone in this world, Edward." Her voice cracked. "What? No? It can't be true." I felt like the world had stopped spinning. The ground beneath me crumbled, leaving me suspended in a void of disbelief. "Who am I?" I whispered, my voice hoarse with shock. "Who is my real father? What about your vows? What about our family home? About all the years we spent together?" She looked away, unable to meet my gaze. "Your father, he made promises he couldn't keep. He left me before you were born. He didn't want a baby, said he wasn't ready." I was devastated, but I knew I couldn't keep the baby either. So I placed you for adoption. I found a loving couple, Thomas and Mary Shepherd. They had no children, and they wanted one. It was the best decision I ever made, but I never forgot you. And when your adoptive parents passed away, I decided to come back for you. Tears streamed down my face. A whirlwind of emotions threatened to consume me. Betrayal, anger, confusion. Where was my dad? Who were my real parents? What did any of this mean? Suddenly, the door burst open, and a man rushed in, his face etched with worry. "Mom, what's happened? Why did you call me here?" It was my brother, Henry. He looked every bit the doting son, full of concern for me. But how could I not see through him now? He wasn't my brother. "Henry, get out," my mom snapped. "This isn't your business." But he shook his head. "No, this is my business." "Who is this guy? Why is he itty? Did you find someone else?" His eyes narrowed, suspicious. "Who else? What are you talking about?" Mom's voice trembled. "I told you to leave. I'm not leaving until I know what's going on. Are you seeing someone behind my back? Did you move on? Are you happy without me?" His words tumbled out, desperate and pained. "You were adopted, Henry. You're not my son." He stared at me, his eyes wide with understanding. Then he looked back at Mom, his face contorted with hurt. "After all these years, you tell me this? Why would you do this to me?" "Because it was easier," Mom said quietly. "I'm sorry, but I had to protect you." "To protect us? Protect us from what?" "From the truth, from our real father." "What kind of life have I been living?" Henry cried out, collapsing into a chair. "You've been living an honest life, Henry. Your father loved you. You had a good childhood. You went to a good school. You were always happy. He didn't love me. He loved you. That's why he stayed with you. That's why he married you. He never loved me. None of it was real." "I'm not real." Henry looked at me, his eyes filled with sorrow. "I'm so sorry, Edouard. I didn't know any of this. If I had, I wouldn't have treated you the way I did. I'm sorry." We stared at each other, two lost souls searching for answers in a world that had turned upside down. In the days that followed, I couldn't bring myself to eat or sleep. The revelations about my parentage had shaken me to my core. I couldn't understand how my own mother could keep such a huge secret from me. Why hadn't she told me the truth all those years ago? What was the reason behind the lie? And then there was my so-called brother, Henry. The thought that he, too, had been kept in the dark all this time brought a strange sense of comfort to me. At least I wasn't alone in this. We were both pawns in our mother's game of deceit. I started digging through old photo albums, trying to find some clue to my past, some hint at the identity of my biological father. But all I found were pictures of me as a baby with my adoptive parents, and with Henry, a constant reminder of the family I never had. One day I decided to visit my adoptive parents' graves. It was the least I could do, pay my respects to the only parents I had ever known. As I stood there, the cold marble of their headstones pressing against my forehead, I realized just how much I missed them. Their love had been unconditional, their embrace warm and comforting. I had been so lucky to have them in my life, if only for a short while. I closed my eyes, trying to remember the sound of their voices, the feel of their hands on mine. But the memories were hazy, like smoke drifting away in the wind. All I could remember was love, pure and simple. The kind of love that transcended blood ties, the kind of love that defied death itself. I knew then that I would never forget them. They may be gone, but their love for me remained, an everlasting flame that burned bright within my heart. Determined to uncover the truth about my past, I visited the local library, poring over birth records and adoption files. Days turned into weeks, yet I found nothing. No trace of my biological father, no answers to the questions that haunted me. Just when I was about to give up hope, I stumbled upon a faded photograph tucked away in an old album. It showed a young couple, their faces obscured by time, standing outside a church. On the back, a name was inscribed, Thomas and Mary Shepherd, my adoptive parents, but below it, in a different handwriting, was another name. Catherine Ashton? Could she be related to me somehow? With renewed determination, I set out to find Catherine Ashton. I scoured the internet, searching for any information I could find. Finally, I hit the jackpot. There was a social media account with that name. Hesitantly, I reached out and sent a message explaining my situation and asking if she could help me find my father. Almost immediately, a reply popped up. Yes, she knew who my father was. Would I come to see her? I wasted no time in accepting her offer. As I drove to her house, anticipation and apprehension battled within me. What would she tell me about my dad? Would I finally get the answers I so desperately craved? When I knocked on the door, a woman opened it. Her eyes twinkled with kindness. Edward, I presume? Come in, come in. It's so good to finally meet you. She led me to a comfortable armchair and poured me a cup of tea. Now, tell me everything. For the next few hours, I shared my story with her, pouring out the pain and confusion I had kept bottled up for so long. When I finished, she reached out, her touch gentle yet firm. Don't worry, Edward. I know who your father is. I'll tell you all about him. And with that, she began. My father, Richard Ashton, had been a well-known businessman in town, charismatic and successful. He had it all, or so I had thought. According to Catherine, there was more to him than met the eye. He was a monster, she whispered, her voice shaking with emotion. A monster who betrayed everyone around him, including the woman he claimed to love. What had my father done? Why did my mother hide him from me? And what did she mean when she said that my dad had made promises he couldn't keep? Catherine told me that my dad had promised her mother, Mary, that he would marry her after he got a divorce. But when the time came, he refused. Instead, he married my mom, who was pregnant with me. Heartbroken and feeling used, Catherine's mother fell ill and died. Catherine blamed my dad for her death. He destroyed my family, she said, her eyes blazing with hatred. And now he's destroyed yours. He's a liar, a cheat, a manipulator. He deserves nothing but misery. Catherine's words echoed in my mind long after I left her house. I had thought my dad was a mystery, but now I knew he was a villain. I wondered, how could my mom choose him over Catherine? How could she put up with his lies and deceit? Was she, too, a victim of his manipulation? Suddenly, I remembered my mom's words. Your father isn't dead. Did that mean he was alive all this time? And if he was alive, why didn't he come looking for me? Or better yet, why didn't he let Catherine and me know about each other? I decided to pay my mom a surprise visit. Maybe she had more to tell me. As I walked into her house, I noticed something strange. Her walls were bare, devoid of any pictures or personal touches. It felt more like a hotel room than a home. I called out to her, but there was no answer. Where was she? Had she left me again? I searched the house, my heart pounding, but found no trace of her. On the kitchen table, I found a note. It read, I'm sorry, Edward. I never meant to hurt you. I hope you find peace. Love, Mom. Below it, I saw a picture of a woman I recognized instantly. It was Catherine. She looked different now. Older, her face lined with worry. In her hand, she held a small suitcase. The same suitcase I had seen in my mom's house. What was going on? Driven by a mix of curiosity and concern, I tracked down Catherine's phone number and gave her a call. Catherine, where is my mom? What's going on? With your mother, she replied cryptically. She's gone, Edward. She's gone for good. Confused and worried, I insisted for more information. Tell me where she is. Is she in danger? No, Edward. She's safe. But you need to know something. What? Your mother is dying. My blood ran cold. How could this be? Just yesterday, she had seemed so full of life. Now she was dying. How? Why? What's wrong with her? Catherine hesitated. It's cancer. Edward? She has cancer. But how? Why? How could this be happening? It's a long story, Edward, and I don't have much time. Look, I need you to come over here. I need to tell you something important. Over the phone, her voice was shaky. What is it? What do you want to tell me? Come here, Edward, please. It's important. There was an urgency in her voice that made me drop everything and rush to her side. As I drove, I couldn't help but wonder what exactly was going on. What had Catherine called me for? Why was my mom dying? And what did she need to tell me? Arriving at her house, I found her sitting in a chair, her face pale and drawn. Edward, thank goodness you're here. I don't have much time, but I need you to know the truth. She looked at me, her eyes filled with sadness. What truth? I asked, my voice tight with emotion. The truth about your father. He wasn't the man everyone thought he was. He was a liar, a cheat, a manipulator. He used people and discarded them like trash. And he did it to me, too. He promised to marry me after his divorce, but he never kept his promises. She paused, taking a shaky breath. Why? I whispered, my heart aching for her. Why did he do it? I don't know, Edward. But he did it. And because of him, my mother died believing her daughter was a fool. I never told you before because I didn't want you to know that your father was capable of such deceit. Her voice cracked. But why now? Why tell me now? Because I'm dying, Edward. And I need you to know the truth about your father. He's not a good man. He's not worthy of your love or your forgiveness. Don't make the mistake I made. Edward, don't trust him. Her words hung in the air, heavy with warning. I could see the pain etched on her face, the betrayal in her eyes. Just then, a loud crash from upstairs made us both jump. What was that? I asked, my heart pounding. I don't know, Catherine replied, her voice trembling. Suddenly, my mom staggered out of the bedroom, her face ashen. Mom, are you all right? I rushed to her side, my eyes filled with concern. Yes, I'm fine. I tripped. She tried to smile, but it faltered. I need to tell you something else, Edward, something very important. What is it? I asked, my voice tight with tension. Your father, he's not dead. He's alive. My blood ran cold. Why did she tell me this now? Why reveal this secret when she was dying? Was this her final betrayal? Before I could question her further, the lights flickered and died, plunging us into darkness. Catherine let out a scream. Quick, Edward, grab my phone from the table. Call 999, please. I fumbled for the phone in the pitch-black room. My fingers scraped against something hard. What was it? I turned on the flashlight and shone it on the floor. There, lying at my feet, was a gun. Then I heard a sickening thud. Catherine slumped to the floor, clutching her stomach. Blood trickled down her hand. Mom! I cried, rushing to her side. Stay with me, please. Help is on the way. I cradled her as she slipped away, her eyes staring blankly at the ceiling. I felt helpless, horrified, desperate. Why did this have to happen? Who had shot her? And where was my mom? Suddenly, a voice echoed through the silent house. Looking for this? I turned and saw a tall, sinister figure standing in the doorway. In his hand, he held my mom's necklace. Who are you? What have you done with my mom? The man stepped forward, his face illuminated by the moonlight. It was my dad, his eyes glittered with triumph. So, you're my half-brother, he said, his voice smooth and dangerous. I stared at him, stunned. You killed Catherine! Why? Why did you kill her? She knew too much, my dad replied, his eyes cold and calculating. She was going to expose me, so I had to silence her. But why? Why would she expose you? She found out about the affair I was having. She threatened to tell my wife. I couldn't risk a scandal. I had to protect my reputation. You ruined her life, I whispered, my voice shaking with anger. I ruined her life because she ruined mine, he spat back. You're just a pawn in my game, a mere inconvenience. You were never part of my plan. He took a step closer, his face inches away from mine. You'll never understand what it's like to be truly powerful, to have the world at your fingertips. With that, he vanished into the darkness, leaving me alone in the house of horrors. Holding back tears, I dialed 999. Hello, operator? Please send the police to Catherine's house as fast as possible. Someone is here. I think he's dangerous. Yes, he's armed. Please hurry. I collapsed onto the floor, my body shaken with sobs. Catherine was dead. My mom was missing. And my dad? He was a ruthless killer with a taste for power. As sirens wailed in the distance, I wondered what fate had in store for me. Would I escape my father's grasp, or would I become his next victim?